All right. Welcome back. Been a minute. Been a hiatus. Summer. People moved. We got people now in Central Time Zone, Pacific, East. Somebody's got to go to Mountain at some point. We'll get them all covered. It'll be great. So, last session, which was, I'm realizing I have my notes open here. I think it was June 26th was our last session.
Jesus,
over a month ago. A month and a half ago.
Too long ago.
26.
No.
But so basically, you guys had finished up the battle at the graveyard and the inadvertent summoning of the demon lord Bifaccia.
I love focaccia.
I love
On your
focaccia
way-
bread so much.
On your way back
It took
to
you all of 3 seconds.
Galita, you all met up with Zaire's order, the Eximinous Order of the Long Death. And Zaire had the opportunity to discuss some of his own feelings about the work he had undertaken with the order. His leader, Hazri, seemed to quell some of his doubts before elevating Zaire to the position of sacrist within the order.
Promotion.
Promotion. Love promotion. Making the money.
The group made its way back to Galita in search of any news on the Tritons or where they can be found, the sort of elusive city of Tritonia. There were rumors about a strange sea captain by the name of Captain Morrissey, around whom many stories and legends seem to grow. After finding the somewhat unique captain, he very readily agreed to take you to where Tritonia is supposedly located. He warned you, however, that it would not be an easy place to find, and after setting sail from Galita, it was some time before a storm began to brew, and you all were tasked with guiding the ship through the storm. Successfully navigating the growing waves and wind, the captain's ship was then attacked by some sort of animated water constructs supported by armored orcas hitting the ship from beneath. Fighting across the upper decks of the ship, you were able to stave off the initial attack. Defeating the Tideborn, you were left with a moment to catch your breath as the weather worsens around you and the ship continues to toss on the waves. And I believe that's where we left off. If anybody remembers anything that I forgot or wants to include any salient details, you may do so now.
You did not describe Captain Morrissey, and I am upset with you.
No.
He was rather
No, you did
unique.
not.
It was very cool, okay?
It's very good to see you all again.
There it is. There it is. Love him so
Yeah,
much.
so you guys are left in sort of I won't say quiet, as there's still kind of a storm and wind and rain and waves, but the fighting seems to have subsided for a moment, and you're left with a moment to to catch your breath and regroup for a second. You kind of hear from the helm of the ship. You hear, "Oh, that was very good. I see my ship is still in one piece, so that's very good. I like to see that."
Your ship kept knocking me down.
Oh, do not blame the ship for that.
Oh,
Gotta get your sea legs, little lady.
I mean, you did warn us into this.
Huh? Would not lie to all of you.
So have you fought those guys before?
I've met them once or twice, yeah.
that's how they they welcome us into the area like that.
It's good to make new friends.
Are they from Tritonia?
They are like a welcoming committee if you are not welcome. You know?
So
It's like it's like, go away. No, thank you. We are not home today.
So we just committed violent acts against the people who are sent to tell us we're not welcome at the place we're trying to go.
Oh, they are not people. They are like little animated water people. They are not like living things. They do not have like a brain. Okay, not very smart. You throw them over the water, they just sploosh into the water, and then they're gone. They go away. They're not like real people. No offense to them, but they are not like, you know.
I guess what I'm asking, Captain, is that we just hurt our chances of getting granted access to the city.
Like a little bit of like a test, okay? Like, are you strong enough to reach Tritonia? You have to prove your metal to them, and then they will let you in. Maybe, I don't know.
This sounds familiar. My people at Crown's Peak used to do the same for outsiders.
I have heard stories about that, but as you could probably tell, I stick to the water. I don't like to go up into the air or the mountains. That's not for me. But I have heard that there are similar things for the Aarakocra. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm wishing I would have stuck on the continent.
New experiences.
Well,
Broaden your horizons, my friend.
Yeah.
Is that yours like
boys,
wiping the like seawater off of his feathers, just like not happy?
So are there any more
well,
tests that we should be expecting?
I would prepare for them, yes.
Great.
What exactly are we preparing for?
Mhm.
If I were to tell you that, it would be like cheating on a test. You would not cheat on a test, would you?
I mean,
so
no.
you knew we would encounter those little water people.
I believe I warned you all that it would not be an easy place to find.
Is it time to throw him
what
overboard?
the
Or...
captain losing his temper?
It would be easier if you told us what was coming.
It would. That is very true. You are correct.
How do we prepare for something that we don't? You're not telling us what it is.
Ah, you get it now, little lady.
He's like I mean, I don't really know, I don't do tests and stuff, but he's like, I don't know, like people keep talking about like the prostate of the test, like the
Proctor.
proctor. That's the word. Proctor.
What the hell kind of test are you taking, my friend?
I told you I don't take
That's
tests.
We should file one of their reports for that test.
Ziggy, that's a very different type of exam. Very different type of exam.
They
Okay.
told me I should get it because I was over 40, but I'm like well over 40.
Was this man hiding in an alleyway when he told you to do this?
Oh my god.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Very
So-
different.
so,
kind of
So, Captain,
Listen, we faced the young dragon. We can take any stupid little fish like this and try and get in our
yeah,
way.
very good. Confidence. That's going to need that. Yeah, very good.
I don't cheat on tests very often, but I think there's a difference between cheating on the test and just having someone who knows what to expect give you hints about it.
Like
That
making
would
like
be
a
very
study
helpful,
guide, right?
It's a guide, exactly, Connie. It's a guide.
Well, I hope you are able to find a guide then. That would be most helpful.
Yeah. Mhm.
I think we're on our own, mate. But it's okay.
I don't know why, but I agree with
Thank
the
you.
dude. I feel like it'll be
My
more
first friend.
it'll
Very
look
good.
better, right? Like if we get there and like he didn't help us and like we did it on our own, you know? Is
It
that
seems that the Tritons find reverence in metal, like people who can stick it out. So
They're also like
Not ready
people
to
who are
take
like
the-
with metal. Like, yeah, that's very metal.
mm,
It's
I just look at
different
Tommy and I'm like,
metal.
we'll see if that argument holds water.
I've had enough of this. I've
As
had
if
enough.
responding to the terrible pun, the deck is still very unsteady below all of your feet as you've kind of taken a minute. The rain kind of continues to whip against your skin as the wind gusts around you. And you realize the ship begins to roll and toss on these growing waves that now seem to come at the ship from all sides. And as is it May who gets a little seasick, or is that Kami?
Mhm.
Didn't one of you guys get seasick?
I think it was Kami.
Kami.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
me?
I think it was Kami.
You decided that you were seasick.
I think
Yep.
Kami got a little seasick.
Yep.
It's just you kind of feel it start to bubble up in your stomach a little bit as it
Oh.
starts to kind of get more and more tossing and rolling. And there's a moment then when you realize that it's not simply rocking on the waves, but the boat itself has begun to spin. And as this
Oh.
slow, wide spin seems to kind of grow and the wind gusts around you still, you see almost water seem to rise over the gunwale like a second horizon. And so you realize that it's not the water that's rising, it's you all that's sinking, being pulled down as a whirlpool starts to swirl around the ship.
Captain, is this supposed to be happening?
Well, did you think this city was above water?
Huh?
I was holding out for the chance.
Well, we are going to find out the answer to that question, I think, right about now. And you feel kind of a sudden impact against the bottom of the
breathe?
ship, causing it to lurch a bit, even as it continues its wide spin down the center of this growing vortex.
Can we breathe underwater? Can we breathe underwater? We can?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
We can.
I already cast that spell on you guys. We have 24
which
hours.
lasts for 24 hours?
Yep.
Or
24
Okay.
hours from whenever
It
this
was
all started.
not even an hour ago.
Yeah,
Probably, at this point. Yeah.
I'm gonna tie myself to the mast of the ship with my rope.
Your entire focus is to the mast of the ship.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
I'm gonna run over to Whirl and I'm doing the same thing.
Okay.
Hold on.
Good
Yeah.
idea. Good idea.
What's that?
I'm telling Whirl it was a really good idea.
Okay. So as you feel that kind of like impact under the ship, you are no longer spinning atop the water, but you are now being pulled underneath it. Water now rushes over the sides and floods up from below deck. You can feel the sudden impact of all of the water just pushing in against you at the same time and driving you sort of off your feet. And I'm going to need everybody except for Whirl and May to make a dexterity saving throw. Or a strength saving throw. I'll let you pick.
I will do the latter. Thank you so much.
I'll see if you can just grab something and hold on, or if you have the dexterity to kind of like keep yourself with the ship.
23.
23.
Dice,
A
dice.
16.
16.
Dice, baby. Oh, that's not good. Dexterity saving throw, that's gonna be a 5.
All right, so this water like rushes up and it hits you all like a wall. Like some of you are like, even though you guys are tied to the mast, it kind of like rushes in on you. The pressure like causes you to catch your breath, even though you can breathe underwater. It's just the force of it kind of like forces the air out of your lungs for a second. Kami, you just basically one hand like find a rope, wrap your arm around it, and just pull yourself down to the ship. And Zaire, similarly, you just basically take your talons, rip into the wood below your feet, and just kind of grab on. Ziggy, you kind of like try to keep your feet and steady, but before you can reach out and like grab onto the gunwale or a rope or anything, you are just basically pushed up and off the deck of the ship as it's pulled down below you. And you all see Ziggy just like that video of like the jellyfish that's caught in the air ring. He's just like being tossed and turned and like pulled up off the deck.
Immediately, like a la John Smith opening of Pocahontas, like I'm gonna take my rope, I'm gonna secure it to my wrist, and I'm gonna like launch myself off the deck to go for him.
Okay.
Right, like grab him and pull him back down.
An athletics or acrobatics check for me on that.
I'm gonna be using my athletics, which is a plus 11. Thank you so much. Oh, that's a 28.
Oof.
Hey,
Yeah,
baby.
cool.
We love that.
Like an arrow shot from a bow, you see him basically like prep himself with this rope. And even though the rope isn't the thing that's physically pulling him off the deck, it kind of looks like it as he launches himself up off the deck through this just like torrent of like tumultuous water. And Ziggy, you see him and kind of like as you're gonna like toss around, kind of like flip yourself back down. You can see the ship below you, and you see Kami just like through all of the white water. You see kind of his hand just like reach out, and you kind of like grab onto it as he grabs onto your wrist. And in like one fluid motion, you basically like grab him, pull him around, and as you pull him around, use his momentum to basically like drag you back down to the boat and pull on the rope with your other hand. And the two of you kind of like not necessarily gracefully, but like without any taking any damage, manage to essentially pull yourself back to the deck. And Ziggy, you kind of like secure yourself onto, you know, some of the gunwale or something that's secure there on the deck of the ship.
Dang.
Can we talk about
You can. It's probably a little bit harder, but you can talk.
that? Hold on. I can't do it.
Jesus Christ.
It was a good thought.
Damn it, I'm trying to find the gif of Sam and Frodo when Sam's drowning and Frodo like
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I can't find it.
Yeah, they
but
grab
not-
some
it's in
top-notch
Yeah.
acting from
those hands.
Mr. Oh my God, who's the actor who plays Sam?
Sean asked.
Elijah Wood.
No, Sean Astin. Or John. Yeah, Sean Astin. Jeez. Anyway,
Shia LaBeouf.
that's the one. That's the one.
Actually,
And you hear, oh, that was a close one. Almost lost one of you guys there. And at this point, you guys are all kind of like just holding on as the ship just sort of like pulls down to the, and you kind of, as you take a minute, Kami, as you were up like above it and kind of pulling him down, you notice the orcas that had attacked the ship previously have essentially like lashed onto the side, and they're the ones that have like begun to like drag it down. Except for there's one of them that's missing.
He's somewhere.
Cause he's a little baby.
He's just trying
a little baby.
Oh,
You trying to do it.
Little baby boy.
Hey, baby. So wait,
God.
we can't talk, right? We can't.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
can
I think we
talk.
can.
you can talk.
I'm gonna say you're not gonna be able to like shout long
I'm
distances, but you can talk to each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
With Ziggy like in like Nessa's room, I'm gonna be like, "Don't worry, Ziggy. We don't leave others behind in the Legion."
Oh, buddy. Thank you.
No soldier left behind.
Zaire, are you okay? I know you can't swim well.
I'm fine. I'm just more worried about them.
As he like looks at the giant orcas that are controlling the boat.
Sorry, just wanted to check.
It's worth noting that Captain Morrissey's voice came through much clearer than yours all did, despite being underwater. And it takes a few minutes, but eventually the light fades significantly. It becomes much darker. Not like pitch black. You're not in like the deepest, you know, points in the ocean or anything like that. But it is definitely much darker as you've gotten lower here. And you feel the ship kind of settle as if kind of like hitting, almost as if like running ashore a little bit. And you guys all kind of brace against it, kind of like coming to the bottom. And as you look around, you find yourself what seems to be in a sort of ship graveyard, so to speak, as if not so many ships that have come out this way have all made it the way that you guys have to the bottom here. Some of them lie in pieces, in half. There's mass scattered about. Large portions of a ship are just missing here at the bottom. And you've kind of like settled in among these. And it's tough to get your bearings given sort of as the light has, it's not gone, but it's much darker here. And now, especially as the ship kind of like comes to the bottom, you see it kind of like kicks up some silt and stuff at the bottom. And so for a moment there, you're kind of in a cloud of like silty fog here at the bottom of the ocean.
Does anybody have that light spell?
Yes. Is that your kind of looks to see if there's any like amongst kind of the ship splinters of wood or something that we could use almost as like a lantern or like a torch?
Yeah, there's a number of things just on the deck of the ship that you're on currently that you could probably.
Okay, he's gonna go and touch. We'll say like if there's like a plank or kind of like a piece of wood, and cast light on it.
Okay. Yeah. So at first it's just kind of, you guys see like almost like watching like the sun rise through like the fog. You see that, and then as stuff kind of starts to settle, you see Zaire holding what looks like a pry bar essentially, to open like crates and things, and he's holding it with the end of it is just casting off a bright light, and as the silt kind of starts to settle, you what?
Oh no.
Well, it's not a pry bar.
Nope.
Where's
Didn't get
it
that
from?
one.
It's from the road to El Dorado.
Haven't seen it
Remember
in a
when they're in the
while.
jail cell on the ship and he drops the keys down to like go find pry bar. And the horse, he's like, he's a stupid horse. He doesn't understand what he needs to go find a pry bar. And he drops the whole keys down instead. And the guy's like, well, it's not a pry bar.
I forgot about
Sorry,
that.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That was a deep
I
cut.
feel like I feel like I ruined all of you.
Oh man. Yeah, so silt begins to settle and you guys kind of manage to have the area around you kind of lit up, and silt is kind of still obscuring some of the area around you, but it's starting to settle.
Can't see anything really. I can't see anything.
Are we in the right place, Captain?
No answer.
Captain? Captain?
Is he there?
Do we see him? Do we see
So
them?
you're like-
It's still pretty dark. He was at kind of the helm of the ship, and you guys are more in the middle. So you can't really see back there where he is, but you don't see him at the moment.
Captain.
I have
Do we sense? Does Zaire sense anything else like moving in the vicinity of him or of the group?
Make a perception check for me.
Okay. 24.
So it takes a minute. You guys are again in this cloud of silt there at the bottom, and as it starts to settle, you look around, and your light kind of, as the only kind of source of light, it starts to cast a little bit further through as the silt settles, and you notice off the side of the deck, there seems to be a sort of wall of rock. You've fallen sort of into this little underwater crevasse or something like that. And so on the wall of rock, it looks like there is an opening in the side. Very, very dark. You can't see into it at all. But as you kind of are looking around, in addition to that, you notice a flash in the dark, which just kind of looks like a flash of light for a moment, before it happens again, and you kind of looking in that direction, and you notice it looks like crackles of electricity, like little bolts of lightning flickering, and as it does, and that seems to get closer a little bit, you notice there's little, almost look like coral that are on the rocks all around you, and as if responding to sort of this electrical charge, they all start to kind of illuminate a little bit, and it kind of opens up the space, and you can kind of see a little bit better, especially as all the silt has now pretty much settled. And as it does, and you're able to kind of see in that all around you and kind of in that direction, you notice that the electricity seems to be sparking between these sort of long tentacles in the dark.
Kami,
With your-
Kami, do you see this?
With your perception check, Jake, you notice those tentacles are surrounding a large head that seems to have a sort of beaked mouth with huge teeth. And it's kind of just like, at the moment, it's just kind of like settling there, eyeing you. With like the crackles of like electricity are just kind of like shooting out into the water around it in between its tentacles.
Seeing kind of what he sees in that reactions that years, like in a world he's nowhere like been before, he's gonna kind of like with the other hand that's not holding the torch, he's gonna reach towards the totem that he was given literally I think just yesterday and cast Shield of Faith on himself and kind of like grasp it, kind of reassuring himself that everything's going to be okay as he faces this like giant beast.
Do we see
Okay.
it yet?
Have you told
Do
the group?
we see it yet?
I don't know. Eric, did they see it yet or no?
What he wants to point out.
Did you
and
tell us?
How he wants to do that.
Yeah.
So he's going to cast Shield of Faith and then turn to the group and say, that direction, we've got company. And then like indicate where the giant thing is. Like point the light a little further.
Seeing it, does it look like a natural
Oh
creature?
my god.
No way. Wait, I need to pull up Roll20.
Same.
This map is stunning.
Oh my god, I'm so
I
excited.
made it. I did not. You can see the Patreon at the bottom. BBEB. Oh, wait, did this
Thanks,
come from-
BBEB.
I subscribed to the Patreon of this creator who's fantastic. Balatro. I think that's who made this one, but I'm not positive.
Shout out.
Everyone
So
go
yeah,
follow.
Balatro on Patreon. She's awesome. Makes really, really cool battle maps. But anyway.
Holy sheet.
Where's the octopus?
Jeez.
Up in the top left.
That's ugly.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see this.
Where's the octopus?
Here we go.
I don't see the
Hey.
octopus.
Up
They're in
there.
the top left.
It doesn't really look like an
Up, there it is.
yay.
Yes,
I found
it's
the
not.
octopus.
It's not a giant octopus.
Oh, it's not.
Oh.
It doesn't look friendly. I was gonna try animal handling on it, but it doesn't look like it wants to be handled.
Oh
Maybe handling
no.
in general.
Zaire points it out to you all, and it takes a minute, even with him pointing it out. You can see kind of the flashes, but
Oh.
finding the full shape of it, the size of it is almost incomprehensible, and it's tough for you to pick it out because you can't imagine that it could be that big. It kind of just looks like you're looking at like an underwater kind of hill or mountain, which you are, but this is on or next to it. And it seems to be just kind of lurking there at the moment. You guys haven't.
I look at everybody. I say, tunnel, or I say tunnel.
Do we see the tunnel?
We
Zaire
see it.
picked that out as well. So if you want
Yeah,
to,
okay.
Yeah,
We do see the tunnel. Well.
I say tunnel.
Yep. Tunnel.
Tunnel.
Let's move slowly so that we
Slow.
don't startle it.
Right, because it's we're its friends. We're its friends. Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say that.
Mm-hmm. Do we see the captain anywhere else? No, captain is gone.
he does not seem to be around.
Mm.
We are underwater, so our movement is halved, just to make everybody aware.
Is that how that works?
Unless you can.
Yeah,
Unless you have a
you move at
swim
half speed unless you have a specific swim speed.
Oh no.
I don't have a swim speed.
Nope. Can I use gust of wind to propel me like a ship, like a submarine?
Do you want to? Do you want to try that?
I'm asking if technically it is okay. I guess I should just do it if I wanted to.
If you want to
Okay.
try it, you can. You as Arakakra have no idea how that would go. You've never tried it before.
I think I have a plan. If you all just grab onto me, I think I can propel us to there fast enough.
If you say so.
I think I have a better plan. I am going to. Let me see. Hold on.
How does Misty Step underwater work? Is it the same?
The
Do I
same.
get?
Yeah.
It's still
Mhm.
halved,
No.
or do I?
You get 30
No,
feet.
Misty Step wouldn't be halved. No, because it's magical.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Let's see. What's this swim speed? Okay.
It's worth noting you can't currently see into the tunnel. It is too dark.
Great.
Does it
So
look like it could fit into the tunnel?
if you have to see where you're going, you wouldn't be able to Misty Step there. You can Misty Step to the mouth of it, but that would be. Does it look like what?
It could fit in the tunnel.
It would have a hard time, but it's a sea creature. They're they're
Flexible.
loosey goosey.
I'm gonna just lock eyes with this. Not trying to make eye contact with the creature, but I'm just gonna constantly be watching the creature for any sort of movement that's aggressive toward us as we figure out what we're doing.
Okay. At the moment, he's just kind of lurking, floating.
Would any of us know what this creature is to be able to identify it?
I can't make a reason for why I would know what the fuck it is. So.
Yeah, give me a good enough reason, and I'll let you make a check.
Oh boy.
I don't
How
think.
much-
I mean,
How
other
much
than
have you studied the ocean, or how much have you spent time in the? Any of you spent time in the ocean?
None.
I haven't. No. Mm-mm.
It'd be tough to say exactly.
I've been fooling you all along. I'm actually a great and adept diver, and I know everything about the ocean.
Anyway,
He's
I know,
a
I was like-
penguin!
so what are you guys all doing? It's kind of
So
just.
I think what had happened was I said I had an idea and everybody should grab
Yeah.
onto me, and Ziggy said,
Go
"Hold
for
on."
it. I will.
Yeah.
We'll try yours first.
Mine is
Okay.
Okay.
So everybody grab on. We're gonna make a dart for the tunnel.
And so can I also add Step of the Wind onto this, or should I just do? Can I just do like one thing?
So what are you trying to do? Let's go start with that.
So essentially, I'm trying to like run with everybody on me. So like cast Gust of the Wind behind me. So it's like propelling and then like letting go almost up in the water. So it's propelling me that way, but also at the same time trying to use some of my like movement speed to like get there. But that's what I would try to do.
And
So like
you
use my
want to use
movement
the
speed to
wind
go.
essentially double that
What?
speed or whatever.
What'd you say?
You want to use Step of the Wind to essentially like double that speed.
Yes. So I have a key point to use on it. And then essentially I would use Step of the Wind to kind of like increase my movement under the water.
Mhm.
As soon as I cast, like right after I cast Gust of Wind to like propel. That makes sense.
Okay.
How far will that get you?
Well, it's 70-ish feet to the tunnel. I don't know how far it's getting. My movement speed is 45. So
Which would be halved underwater,
To 20.
but then with everything that you're doing to try and move quicker.
Step of the I don't know. That's what we'll
Are you
find out.
trying to just make it to here at least?
Okay. I see what
Fine.
you're saying. So you guys kind of form like a chain of monkeys, right? Like a barrel of monkeys chain onto Zaire. As he essentially casts gusts of wind and uses his sort of monkish physicality to launch you all off the deck and back towards this tunnel that he pointed out before. You're moving pretty quickly through the water, like probably faster than you thought you would at first. And there's a bit of like when you first tried to learn how to fly as an Arakakra, of like kind of figuring out like the how to move and how to direct yourself in the water. But it's not so different from flying. And so after just a second, you kind of manage to get it. And just as you kind of like straighten out and you start heading through it, like right basically for the opening of the tunnel, you see a flash of light, and Zaire, Tommy, and probably Ziggy, I need all of you to make a dexterity saving throw,
The fuck? Why?
but at disadvantage because you're in the
Oh,
water.
Wonderful.
Are they the first three in line? Is that why?
Yeah, more or less.
You said disadvantage.
All right. Say, so proud of my roll so far tonight. I've not rolled less than a 15. I rolled a natural 20 and an 18.
Woo! That's pretty good.
You've definitely jinxed yourself for the rest of the
That's
night.
100%. So it's a 22 total.
Okay.
Whoa.
It's an 8.
Mine is a 9.
And a 9 for Zaire. Okay. So what happens is you see these bolts of lightning shoot out from where the Kraken was hiding. And at the same time, you see him matching your movement towards the.
Oh my God.
Not a friend. Not a friend. Oh.
I'm gonna have you guys in like a flying V sort of thing, heading this way, grabbing onto Zaire.
Oh my god.
That's all the far that we got. Oh.
It was think of it as like a held action. He was waiting for you guys to make a move, and lightning travels you move pretty quick, but lightning's quicker. Even especially through the water. Either way.
Probably. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
the water is
The conductor.
water is
Yeah.
yeah.
A better conductor than air is, so.
Yeah. And so the three of you, Theo, you succeeded on your save.
Succeeded.
And so you will take half damage.
Inconsiderate.
Okay.
This
And
doesn't
that
seem good.
is 26
Fuck me.
points of lightning damage.
Oh,
That's half?
For Kami.
Okay.
Comes for me.
But it's coming for you, Jake.
That's 26 for the three that failed.
26.
26.
Oh,
And
Nice.
13 for Kami. And Hobbs, I think, wants to not be in my room at the moment.
So how far did we move with that? 35 feet?
You're still
About
moving,
40 feet.
to be fair, even as you become electrocuted. But you're now moving. You and the Kraken are now essentially closing in on each other at a very fast rate of speed.
Great.
the
Perfect.
second I see the Kraken move, I cast Expeditious Retreat on myself.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is all happening within essentially the speed of one action. So at this point, I'm going to say, let's roll for initiative.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Jesus
it.
Christ, Michael!
This thing is-
Oh, I rolled bad.
Oh, Nar, what did you roll?
And I'm still not doing
Fuck
well.
me.
What did I do?
9 for initiative.
We never took a rest last time.
No, we did not.
No.
Pretty hard.
No, we didn't.
Nar.
Nar.
No.
Nar. Nar.
Nar.
Nar.
Sets up a chorus of Australian accents.
I am very worried about this situation.
Feeling good.
Like I should.
Right.
Feeling good. No, 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 no.
For anybody wondering, this is a kraken.
Gross.
Feeling blessed.
Kraken.
Never.
I'm
stress.
just cracking up, Eric, over this Kraken.
All right. Ooh.
Man.
Did we all put our things in there? Okay, cool.
Leviathan me alone.
Ziggy, what was your initiative?
I like it.
9. Mine?
Yeah,
9.
9.
Wait, Jake, did you say you liked my
Mine?
Leviathan me alone?
I thought it was clever.
Thank you.
Hey, Kami, what's your dexterity?
18.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
R.
I like that. I
Nar.
like it.
I don't like it. Not at all.
I don't
You
rightly
can tell
know, sir.
All
You
right.
can tell
So,
we haven't played in
I'm
a long
old,
time.
Greg.
Everyone's so
What'd you say,
squirrely.
Say it again, Bailey.
Everyone is so squirrely. You can tell we have not played in a hot minute. I love
Yeah.
it so much.
all right. May,
Everyone just
You-
agreed to me launching them into the.
first. So,
Ah,
I will say you were going to cast something on yourself.
yes. Oh, I thought I snuck it in right before. No? Nar? No.
Or no.
You did, technically,
Oh.
because you're first in the initiative order. So,
Okay. Well, whew. I'm gonna panic witch bolt it. Mhm.
okay. What level?
Mhm. Uh, I'm terrified, so level 4.
Got a
All
bit
right.
of an echo.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make.
Okay. That's a 21.
That's pretty good. Hang on, I need to check something real quick.
If a 21 doesn't hit, I'm out. I'm dead. Does it?
No, that does hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh wait, I think I made a huge mistake.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah, let's shatter in a cave last campaign, and let's cast lightning
Oh.
around us in this campaign. So
Oh
smart.
no! Oh,
For a wizard,
Oh,
you're
no.
so dumb.
so dumb. So
Maeve
dumb.
isn't dumb. Maeve isn't dumb. Jess is dumb.
Yeah, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. My pants. Oh, this is gonna be so bad. Oh my god.
You cast at level 4 too.
Jesus, fuck.
No.
Yeah.
We're all gonna get hit.
Good night, everyone.
It's great
And
knowing
that's
you.
how campaign 2 ended.
That's it.
Hasn't played for 2 months. Comes back, dies. TPK.
I love it.
22.
So I'm gonna say it is a magical like bolt that is directed at something. So I'm gonna say it does not branch out to your party. However, this
Okay.
is a creature that just struck your party with lightning damage, and as such is immune to that damage. So you feel the bolt release, you see it fly true through the water, and it hits and just adds to the crackling lightning energy that's like arcing between its tentacles, and it seems to be unfazed by it.
Context clues,
Didn't work.
y'all.
Didn't work. Well, it could be half. It could just be that they're like resistant to it, not immune.
Yeah, this big boy's immune.
Great.
Great. But we all didn't die, so let's all just congratulate ourselves for that.
Are we still all holding on to?
Yeah, are you still holding on to this flying V that's like still in the process of jettisoning through the water?
I'm gonna look at Maeve and just be like, "Don't let go of me."
Hang on one sec, though, actually. Yeah, it is a concentration spell, so as you were struck with lightning, Jake, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
And you have to beat a 13.
Got it. Let me get to my. Fuck. It's a 9. I am not rolling well in this new setup.
So
No
as
one-
the
none
light
of
wind
us
hits
are.
you,
It's bad.
I cleanse it.
the gust of wind fades, and
Yeah.
you all kind of like come to like a jarring stop. And so as that happens, Jess, you cast your witch bolt, and now you're kind of just like floating in the path of this kraken that's on the move towards you. So you cast your witch bolt. Didn't work so well. What else do you want to do?
We've stopped moving, so I'm definitely panicking. And as a bonus action, I cast Expeditious Retreat.
Can't do that.
Yeah, that's another leveled spell, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, JK. I don't do anything.
Do you want to move? You can still move.
Yeah, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move and try and hide myself behind whatever this ship is
The little,
toward
like,
the
nose of the
tunnel.
ship.
Yeah.
You get about 15 feet of movement speed.
Great.
Yeah,
So I'll
kind
go
of,
just like right over.
you kind of swim, like
behind the rock.
down below the party as they're kind of like floating up above it. You kind of swim down to this thing and manage
Down
to kind
on
of hide behind the edge of this broken
Yep.
ship bow.
Yep.
Okay. Kami, you're up next.
Okay.
I'm gonna switch you two. I feel like that would be more appropriate setup.
All right. I am going to.
The map is just a bunch of arrows right now. Just like, how the fuck do I get out of here?
Just panic measuring.
Hashtag panic measuring.
Panic measures.
30 feet is not. It has nothing to do with Misty Step, I swear.
Here's what I'm gonna do. May, in your head, you're gonna hear. I'm going to telepathically scream, "Go through the cave!" And I'm gonna go. Eric, I'm gonna move 10 feet this way. Right here. Yep. And then I'm going to bonus action manifest an echo 15 feet away from me right here. Yes.
Hang on just a second.
Cool. We love manifesting echoes. Hey, how do I know?
I'll manifest your echo.
I just messaged it.
What was your question, Bailey? Sorry.
I just messaged it.
What you got?
Your slots will be full.
Yeah. We
C slot is the problem.
Yes.
Like I don't see.
So you don't have spell slots. You can just use those spells once per day, basically. Cantrips you can use infinitely, but the
So I
other
can
ones.
only use the first level once a day and then a second level once a day.
Correct.
So like if I already have a second level that's been used from before when we were fighting
so
the
these two spells do not have anything to do with your spell slots. So it's just you can cast Misty Step once a day, and you can cast whatever the first level spell you took is once a day.
Got it.
And those will come back on a long rest.
Love that.
Yeah, so if you go to your spell tab, Bailey, I'm just peeking at your character sheet just to see. You'll notice that the enlarge reduce spell is grayed out because you hit it when you use it. So you just do that for your other spells, and they'll do the same thing. And then anytime you long rest, it'll turn red again.
Okay.
For you.
Thank you.
All right. You manifested your echo over yonder.
Yes. And then I'm going to use the rest of my movement because I can basically share my movement with my echo.
So you moved 15 feet. How much movement do you normally have?
I moved 10 feet.
You moved 10 feet. So you got 5 more.
He has a 40.
My speed got up to 40 when I went to level 8.
Look at you. Okay.
Barbarians slowly get faster and faster.
So you have 10 more.
So I have 10 more to go, so I'm going to have the echo move 10 feet towards the door.
Okay.
And because I'm not raging, this is kind of like a ghostly sort of actually, maybe when I'm not raging, is it just me? It's just an echo of me?
Yep.
Okay, it's Kami. It's just Kami.
Kami
All
by
right.
name.
And then I'm going to hold an attack action if it gets within swinging distance of me.
Okay.
I'm not using action.
All right.
I'm going to basically be like intentionally drawing its attention.
Yeah.
All right. The Kraken is going to.
But what here's a counterpoint. What if it didn't do what it's about to do?
Great counterpoint. What it's going to do is it's going to use 3 of its tentacle attacks, which have a range of 30 feet.
Great.
So let's see how far.
When I woke up today,
Are you sure?
when I woke up today, I did not think that I was going to be in a hentai, but it's fine.
First of all, it's hentai and it's art.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So what he's going to do is he is going to move 1 step closer to the edge, which will trigger your opportunity attack with your reach, Kami.
I will
Or
take
not
it.
your opportunity attack, but your held action.
Do I measure it from his weird barnacle beard?
Yeah, I mean, he's got pretty big reach, so I'm going to say pretty much all you guys are in range at the moment.
All right.
But he hasn't made an attack yet, so we'll wait to see what
It was a 15 to hit.
15 to hit. Misses.
Do I get, because I'm holding the attack action, do I get my second attack as well?
Two attack. Yep.
Okay. Second one is a natural 1.
Oh no.
You jinxed yourself. I
You
told
are
you.
uncomfortable here in the water. It's not like you can't swim, but it's not like that's what you're best at by any means. And there's an image that flashes in your head of water that you've been in before. It was a well of some sort. And it's just long enough where it just messes with your swing.
There was no need for that.
There's ever need for that. That was so good, Eric.
And I took.
And
Bring it back.
as you make 2 quick cuts with the glaive just through open water, you see as quickly as the bolts of lightning struck you earlier, tentacles lash out through the water. 1 at your Echo, 1 at you, and 1's going to go for Zaire as the next closest.
I'm gonna go pee real quick.
Okay. So those 3 attacks will be plus. Okay. I got 3 dice, 1 for each of you.
Ooh.
The one against your Echo is a 25 to hit.
Yeah.
The one against you, Connie, is a 23 to hit. And the one against Zaire is a 22 to hit.
If it ties, does it hit?
It does. Your armor class is 22.
It's 20 now, and then I cast Shield of Faith.
Oh, it just hits.
Mother.
So that's 3 hits
right.
for the tentacles, which are going to do. We'll do the first one against the Echo, which if it takes any damage,
it's destroyed. It has 1 HP.
Okay. Well, it absorbs some damage at the very least. The one against Kami.
Yeah, but you just ruined my entire plan. It's totally fucked.
Boy, nobody's ever done that to me before as the DM. 8, 9 plus 8 is 17 bludgeoning damage.
Yep. Okay.
And the one to Zaire is 20 bludgeoning damage.
Fuck.
Oof.
Before
And you just took 26 and then 20.
Are you dead
Yep.
yet?
If anyone remembers the number that I had left at the start of the game, they'll also know how many hit points I have left.
Oh no!
Because I made a
Oh.
I made a 69 joke.
Did
It's
this
gonna, like,
asshole
back-
just did that asshole just block up the cave?
It's gonna back its way essentially in front of the opening to the tunnel.
Fuck.
Um,
Plan is
it does. No, use your reaction to attack it the first time. So that's the Zaire's turn next.
That just. Okay. If question, if I shout to the party, do they have like a split second to do something before I take an action, or is that like not a thing in turn-based combat?
If they have a reaction, they can use it. Otherwise, they can like shout back to you. It depends what they're trying to do. If it's something that takes an action, no.
Doesn't. I'm just gonna shout at them to close their eyes. Can they do that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Zair's gonna shout, "Close your eyes," and then he is going to. You see, or they don't see, but Zair's eyes start to glow in like a yellowish red, and his like presence starts to shimmer. And I would tell you what happens if I could find it. His so his no, that's not it. Where'd it go? There we go. So his eyes start to shimmer and glow like a golden, like red. His feathers start to kind of shake in the water as he's like reeling from getting hit with the electricity, and he's gonna cast Hour of Reaping on or just cast Hour of Reaping upon himself. I guess it's not a cast, but he'll summon the energy from the totem.
Okay.
So it will succeed on a Wisdom saving throw.
All right. Let's see here. Wisdom save for it is a 19.
It saves.
Ah.
Wow.
So it is not great.
what? This motherfucker's wise.
This-
Okay. Um.
Oh boy.
Well, I can't really move it.
I want to move it. Move it. I want to move
I
it.
know I
Move
do.
it.
Where are you going, Zaire?
I'm gonna go. Kind of over this way. This is the amount of movement I have. Kind of to its flanking it a little bit. And then since I used that as an action, as a bonus action, I'm going to spend a key point for dodge.
Okay.
Dip, dab, duck, dab, and dodge. Is it shatter?
No.
Anyway, okay. So that's it for Zaire. Whirl, you're up next.
Everything I was going to do is no longer going to happen. How hidden am I? Like, am I behind the boat?
You're kind of floating in the water at the moment because you were grabbed onto this little flying bee that was propelling itself through the water that has now stopped. So you're kind of floating in the middle, a little bit above this ship thing.
Okay. That's
I
not
wish I could
great.
do 3D on here, but it's very difficult.
Right. So if I went right here behind this little mast, would I be hidden?
Yeah, you can hide down there if you want.
Okay. I'm
You
gonna
want a
hide
bonus
there.
action hide?
Yeah, bonus action hide, and then I want to try to sneak attack from behind that.
All right,
But
so
does he
first
know where I
thing
am?
is make a stealth roll for me.
Oh, better. 26.
All right. And now you want to make an attack from there?
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him with my short bow.
Okay.
26.
26 to hit. That hits.
Sick. So then that's 5d6 total. No, 1d6 plus 5 first. So 9 plus 3. 12 plus. Is someone calculating this?
I got it. I'm writing it down.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Just say the
Plus
numbers. Plus 6.
6. Yep. Plus 2.
Plus 2.
Plus 4.
4. 24 points of damage.
That's a lot of damage, but this thing's got to be big.
Yeah, so essentially like Aragorn shooting at the Watcher in the water, right? It just kind of like flies through and kind of like catches it square in kind of the center of its head. It's got a tough exterior, but your arrow does seem to kind of penetrate the scaly exterior of this thing. And you see it just kind of like stuck in the middle there. So you made it through its armor. It's a little hot. It's natural armor.
Great.
You are not currently hidden because you attacked, but you have a little bit of cover there.
Yeah.
All right. Ziggy.
Okay, let's see if this works. I'm going to look to everybody and say, all right, guys, if this works, don't hit it. If this doesn't work, do hit it.
Hit it a lot.
Hit it a lot. And then I'm going to attempt to polymorph it.
Okay.
Okay.
So that is what save from it?
Wisdom 16.
I will tell you, it has a +9 to its wisdom saving throws.
Fuck me.
Uh,
Yeah, but you roll bad.
You want to know what I rolled?
Yeah.
shit.
I rolled a 3.
Yeah!
Wow.
For a total of 12.
All right, I turn it into a crab.
Hang on.
Oh,
I'm trying to find a little crab token.
love that. Who's gonna kick
No.
it first?
No!
I want to eat it.
Don't! Do you not listen?
So you guys can hear like almost like a thunder or like a popping sound as essentially a vacuum of this massive creature that was taking all this space just closes up as it literally disappears, and you see in the middle of it this little crab just gently floating to the ground.
All right. Go,
Yeah?
go, 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 go.
Touch it. Oh,
Good
it's
work,
so
Ziggy! Good work! Good
Getting Matt Mercer when he had that giant fucking thing that turned into a turtle. God damn, polymorph.
Yeah.
I even funny, just as a funny story in the middle here, the Kraken is typically a legendary creature, but its challenge rating is 23, which is obviously way too high. So I scaled it way down, and as a result, I took away its legendary status so that it wouldn't have legendary actions because it already had 3 attacks per turn. And so it doesn't have its legendary resistance, which I'm realizing now I should give everything legendary resistance.
Yeah.
Okay, so
This is
we're going to stick with
cute.
the initiative order at the moment. We're going to go through it quickly and see if there's anything you guys want to do as you go through. Ziggy, you have your movement still. Do you want to use your full movement to just head to the door?
Yep.
All right. You're there.
I swear to God, if one of you hurts this fucking crab.
May, you're up.
I'm going to just swim my 15 feet, just fall in behind Zaire.
Nothing else you want to do on your turn? Okay.
No, actually, can I dash then? Can I just use the dash action? Yeah, I'll dash. So I'll go 30 feet.
I like to imagine that he's on the floor and we're swimming above him and he's like,
He's kind of floating down at the moment. He's very
he's
like,
still doing the crab float.
he's still doing the crab float down. He's not moving quickly. Okay.
Have you guys
Kami.
seen the Instagram video of like the crab in the aquarium that will like cry, like he like climbs over to the bubble, like the bubble shooter, like basically the filter,
Yes.
and he
And he
rides
rides
it,
yeah.
and then he comes back down, and then he does it again. It's really fucking cute.
Yes. I'm also going to take the dash action and go my full 40 feet into the entrance. Yes.
Okay. As you run by the crab, he takes like a pinch at you. He doesn't get anything, but it doesn't repeat a save or anything on its turn, right?
Nope, it's just that for an hour.
Fucking funny.
Amazing.
Zaire.
Derek's so bad.
Yeah, I'm getting in the cave.
All right, let's say you close the gap in there.
I feel like we've just made things really hard for us for future fights.
Yep.
I'm just gonna come with
were
like
you dashing following
every
them?
resistance. Yeah.
I'm harnessing
You
my
guys are all
best,
just following up.
harnessing
We're
my
all-
best Emily Axford, you know, just trying to ruin the DM's time.
All right, so we're gonna say
Yeah.
the crab's gonna get one opportunity attack. And we're gonna say it makes it against Ziggy because it knows it's mad. What would its plus?
Let me look up a crab stat block.
Yeah, let's find out. Crab. It's a +0, so it's a 16 to hit.
He hits me.
It does 1d1 bludgeoning damage.
Ow! Claw hits me like a scooter in the shin.
So you take 1 damage.
And like I'll take it and I'll look down and be like, I know, buddy, I'm sorry.
All right, and we'll say the rest of you all close the gap and manage to dive through this opening here. Can I do this? Will this work?
Ah!
I deleted the background by accident.
Oh no.
What?
We're in the
Wait, a
Matrix.
white boy.
We're in,
abstract
we're in like Morpheus's weird white room in the Matrix.
Alone.
Button.
Oh boy, is there a control D
SpongeBob?
situation?
That's all right.
Panic measure.
Oh, there we go. We got it. All right. So you guys close in there. You manage to get into the tunnel. And it's now pretty dark in here at this point. But as you kind of make your way further in, the crab seems to not be following.
Yeah,
It seems it's
bad time for us.
It seems like it's smart enough to realize that that is not the way.
Is it like looking in behind us though?
As it kind of, you guys are moving further in, you see it just move off to the side and out of view. You can't see it anymore.
While we're like shuttling, like at least entering in through the cave, and now it's quiet, Zaire's gonna grab a potion of healing and drink it.
Okay.
If he can drink underwater. I feel like you can drink underwater, right?
You can drink it, yeah, it's fine. If you can breathe underwater, I'll let you drink underwater.
Okay.
Not that that's like a prerequisite, but just my reasoning for it.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna need a nice rest sometime soon. It's been an interesting past day.
Where the fuck is the captain?
I don't know.
I have a theory. I think so. Like, there are two things of why I have this theory. First thing is he knows a lot about this, and like he was like, I can't help you. And then the second thing was like when we like crashed at the bottom, like we heard him like loud and clear, as opposed to our gargling weirdness. I think he's a Triton with an illusion.
I mean, it would make sense. This is why we have to stop trusting people. Why do we trust him?
It's an illusion, Michael.
Well, when we find
as if
Just for money.
responding to your words, you hear what seems to be like it sounds like a whale call, sort of. And as you do, the walls around this tunnel that you guys are in illuminate with a similar bioluminescent like coral that's on the walls. And as it kind of like illuminates down the path, you see the captain standing at sort of the end of the tunnel. And behind him, you see a sort of small group of tritons standing behind him. And he looks at you and he goes, they're for friends. He's very perceptive, this one. And he does drop the illusion. And he is, in fact, actually a triton.
Wow.
And he says, where are my notes?
Says
It says where am I notes?
Where are my notes?
Do all Tritons speak with this accent? Because if so, that
fucking hope so.
amazing.
Yes.
So he says, very well done. You guys, you all have made it past a very tough test. And I'd like to introduce you to my friend, Rimulus. And behind him, one of the Tritons steps forward. And you see a very large Triton with pretty intimidating presence, not unlike that of Kami's. And he kind of exists here in the water with an intense grace that's very much befitting the sort of position of him as the face of Tritonia to you outsiders. He's sophisticated, dangerous, and sort of independent representation of Tritonia. And he kind of like extends an arm and he says, not the same accent as Captain Morrissey, unfortunately. He says,
I quit.
you've dealt with much to reach us here in the city. This must be an important trip that you've all been sent on. Please, come join us in Tritonia, and we can discuss. And he, without kind of seeing if you guys follow, he just kind of turns, and the group that he's with walks further down the tunnel that you guys were just in. Anything from you guys?
All right.
Tommy just kind of like to himself, like coming to himself, like as he's walking, he's kind of just like, I'm still taller than him.
They seem to be sort of it's like when somebody talks slow to somebody who doesn't speak the language, except for it's the way that they're moving in the water. Can you relax, please?
The Hobbs. Oh, buddy. I just see a little like blob jumping up.
Yeah. They're sort of moving slowly through the water as you all are kind of moving in your own awkward ways down this tunnel. And so as you walk through, you notice that this is not a sprawling underwater metropolis that many stories have sort of made it out to be, right? Sort of the way that we might think about it is like Atlantis, this like giant open city. And rather, it seems to be a series of underwater tunnels, caves, caverns that have been meticulously carved out to house the Triton population. So much like the elves formed cities out of the trees, the Tritons have done something similar here out of rock and coral and the various subaquatic flora that exist here. And all the city is very closed off as you walk through. It's all kind of within these caves and tunnels. You see what look to be little homes that are not fancy necessarily, but are not just a hole in the wall, right? And all of this sort of closed off inside, a little bit claustrophobic here in these underwater tunnels. Eventually, you come to the center, what appears to be the center of the city, and you see a sort of massive underwater cavern here with a domed ceiling, and the top is open into the open ocean beyond. And somehow, even at the depths that this city sits, you can see a ray of light that kind of penetrates the waves and shines down into the city, the center of the city here. And you see it hit as it kind of hits the middle. There seems to be a sort of glittering jewel inlaid within the polished rock floor of this cavern. And additionally, as you kind of now are open into like a bigger space, which is open at the top, you see sort of the orcas that had attacked the ship earlier. Similar ones to them are sort of swimming through this open space. There are dolphins, what look to be giant sharks as well, some of which are armored or have sort of like saddles on them. And yeah, and you kind of just see them swimming through as sort of part of the city, as well as schools of fish and things that have made their way down into these caverns. And it's just all kind of part of the natural environment here in Tritonia. So finally, you're walked kind of into the center of the city, and they don't really sit because again you're underwater, so they just kind of seem to be floating here in this central space in the middle of the light, and there's a pretty clear like perimeter around you guys of nobody and nothing sort of around. It seems that they have this sort of city center as like a meeting space, and everything exists kind of outside of that. And so he's kind of brought you all here, is floating here in the center, and he looks to you all and kind of looks across the group, and he says, "It is typically a fool's errand to try so hard to find this place, especially for ones not adept at existing here in the water. So I have to ask, what is it that has brought you here, seeking the help of our Captain Morrissey?"
Well, first I'll just say you'll find no bigger batch of fools than this group here, so it's fitting.
There's a bit of a smirk that comes across his face.
I don't know if the captain was able to inform you of anything that we told him while we were busy fighting your doorkeeper, but we come with half of a warning and half of a question. And Theo needs to go back through his notes because it's been so long. I don't remember any of the things that we need to talk
I
about.
was literally just thinking about why we needed
Why are we-
to go.
So
I think
me
we're
and
trying to
the-
figure out the portal. Like
Yes.
they guard the portal, and so
Yeah.
we're trying to figure out if Oberius has been down here or if you've seen anything funky through the portal.
Yes.
And to warn them that if they haven't seen things yet, then they will.
Yeah,
That's what I remember.
that's correct.
I
So
think
as you're kind of
that
looking
checks
through that, he responds and he says, the captain is well suited to determine those who should find their way here and those who shouldn't. And we trust his judgment. And that is why you all are still alive. That, and we have to make some changes to the Guardian out front.
Wait, oh, is he not back yet? And I'll like
We
look like I'm thinking really hard, and I'll drop concentration on the spell.
after like a second of dropping it, you kind of feel like a little bit of a pulse in the water. And it's like
like a screech. Yeah.
this huge thing that just reappeared in the water, taking up all the space. It kind of literally forces all of the water as like a shockwave out that travels through the caverns here. And he says, so yeah, he just says, you know, we trust in the captain's judgment. So
And we trust in you as well. A member of our party shares a similar mission, or did, or his people, I should say, shares a similar mission to yours. We understand, as best as we can as land dwellers, that the Tritons have an important responsibility of safeguarding the plane of water. We don't mean to pry too much into your day-to-day for doing such, but We do wonder if you've noticed anything odd or strange, either coming through the portal or disruptions to the status quo.
Yes. Makes sense if any outsiders were to find their way here. That might be what it's about. That has been an issue as of late. It seems the plane of water itself is it's as if it is caught in some vortex of its own that has pulled it in towards us. There are elementals making their way through that are acting irrationally, and beyond that, we've had issues with attempts to wrangle and take the various creatures that we house here within Tritonia, our protectors, our companions in some instances. We can't say exactly who or what is trying to influence that, but given the current situation on the continent, it is concerning at the very least.
I
How
believe
important?
we can say who or what is influencing this.
What did you say?
He said, I believe that we could say, who or what is influencing this. Kind of like a play on how he finished his sentence.
Who might that be?
Dave?
Hi. So it's have you heard of Oberius? Archfey Oberius?
The Feywild is not something with which we have much experience.
Well, you're lucky
So
that you
it's
haven't
hard.
met him yet.
I can't say that we know much about him. Could you educate us?
Well, he's pretty famous right now because he's trying to start a war. And what knowledge we have is that he is trying to get access to more of the planes and actually converge the planes together. And we know that he has traveled from the Fae into the other plane of Sessordumian, and he's looking for access to not only the Fae plane and the one where we just came from, but all of the planes, the Ember plane, the Air plane, and the plane that you protect.
For
To
what
put
purpose?
it frank, it seems that for the purpose remains, or the intent remains unclear as to why, but it seems he's attempting to bring on a second convergence.
That is worrying, but it's insane. No being could possibly have dominion over all of the planes in that way. He
Well,
would have
he
He has help.
Be
he has
shocked.
lots of allies. He even has control over great beasts, and so that could explain why some of the beasts that you have are acting up. He's taking control over beasts, and he also has an alliance with who was it, Zaire? Who was the Lord of the Undead?
The Parvori.
Rasash.
Yeah, he he has some very very strong allies.
At the very least, he's trying to, like create an army from all the planes.
Mm-hmm.
So even if we don't even know if it's possible that he's gonna bring on another convergence or whatever, but like he's still a threat.
And like you said, you don't interact much with the Feywild, but there's so much division within the Fey. I would know that personally. He'll be able to take over everyone if the groups don't work together. if you don't interact with the Fae and show interest in the things that are happening right now, it'll just continue.
You make a fair point. And it's something that we might consider in the future, but I worry that at the moment, each of our respective camps must focus on our primary responsibility. As your friend here probably knows, the Aarakocra have their responsibility over the plane of air, and we have ours over the plane of water. And at the moment, that is far from secure, and it's something that we must focus on first. But I do agree that perhaps greater attention should be paid once that is done to the other planes that it seems if they're trying to bring about a convergence. Up until now, we haven't had much reason to focus on. They've been a distant plane that few could ever hope to travel to of our own. And occasionally we interacted with some of their natives, as we have with you here on land. But the Feywild has been a distant notion to us for quite a while. But if that's changing, then certainly our approach to them should change as well.
And I hope
What is
that
Do you know?
Yes.
Do you know? Is there? That makes sense, sir. To be completely honest with you as well, we don't know what can be done to stave off whatever this malicious infiltration of these planes by Obirius is. Right now, we are doing the best we can to get a better understanding of what is happening. Perhaps maybe there is someone here, an expert in the portal or in the plane of water itself, who we can speak with, who might be able to help us better understand the situation that you've been experiencing. Give us some clues that we can take to our broader search.
Well, I suppose it's best to be honest with you that there is an additional reason why the captain here ushered you all so readily down to Tritonia. We've recently been made aware of a troubling set of circumstances, and it prevents us from getting involved directly, given the difficult situation on the continent politically. We have generally maintained a very acceptable status quo among the various powers on land. However, recently, a small coastal stronghold along the Shimmer Run has come into possession of a powerful relic that it would allow them to travel unimpeded through the sea, even into our territory here, as well as control the water itself. And while that is of concern to us on its own, at the same time, the relic in our hands could be put to use to quell the issues that we're having with the portal to the plane of water and to right everything that has gone wrong here. And so we were looking for some individuals who have no ties to the Tritons, who might be able to stage an extraction of this relic for us. And once we have this relic, we could hopefully use it to get our own house in order, and then perhaps even beyond that to help you all to figure out more about what exactly is going on, and perhaps even reduce the influence and the power of this Obirius that you claim is attempting to converge the planes and take them over.
think that's
Who
fair.
who resides in this settlement, and how did they even come to be in possession of this relic?
I can't say how they came into possession of it. I don't know. It is a stronghold called Curran, which Kami you would be familiar with. It is essentially a
Do you have it on the map?
it is. I have a new map which I didn't upload yet. I can send you guys back and I can show you. Oh no! What did I do? So it sits right around here. So this is kind of like a desert that the river runs through to the ocean. And there's a old stronghold here that was a fortified position in the time of the Empire, sort of guarding the mouth of the river. And it now kind of exists as almost an extension of kind of the Midlands. But it's a more centralized power there. So the Midlands are kind of up to the north, and then you've got the Dragonborn clans and the likes, which exist to the west and kind of down through the south along the Sessordumian highway. And this exists to the west of that as kind of its own. So like this whole area over here has kind of become its own city-state sort of thing. It's kind of on the outskirts of quote-unquote civilization, but has generally maintained its independence just because of the Shimmer Run acting as sort of a natural barrier there. And also just a lack of interest. There's not a lot out here. It's a desert. It's got proximity to the Firefall Mountains and Kalumia in a way, and so it's just kind of, they don't interrupt the Sessordumian highway, and so nobody kind of interrupts them for the most part. But with Curran being a stronghold there, it is sort of a centralized location for their power, and what they don't typically have power projection, but with something like this relic, it seems like they might be able to then extend that beyond the shores, to sort of control the Everreach Sea and the waters around, at the very least Sordum, if not Sataria. So it's something that, as Remulus is talking to you guys about it, he's saying, it is something that is of great interest to them that they would be quite hesitant to give up. But it's something that I think, one, could be put to better use in the hands of the Tritons, and two, in protecting our own interests, we need to secure our borders against their attempts to essentially control the waters.
Can I make an insight check just to see if it seems like maybe he's hiding an additional motive for what he wants to use this relic for?
Sure.
I also,
It's not going to be great, but I'm going to try it anyway.
yeah.
I'm less interested about the relic. Can I make one to like get a read on what he thinks of these people that have it? Like, are they bad? Does it seem like he's mischaracterizing them as bad people, or?
Yeah. So we'll go with Kami's first.
It was a 2.
What's your modifier for insight?
-2.
Oh,
Oh my god.
that was a long shot.
To vent
So as you kind of like, you are an untrusting person in general. And so you have this weird line of, you don't trust the people of Curran with it, but you're not so sure about this guy either. So it's like, can't get a read on him. Your natural instinct is to just be distrustful. That's kind of the way I would approach your 2 there.
Great.
But status quo, maybe not best either. Ziggy,
I got 21.
you were trying to get a read on his characterization of these people, and you got a
21.
21.
Good.
The way he's speaking of them, he is doing it in a very political way. He's not characterizing them as bad. He's just saying that like this is an area, this is an interest of ours that he feels they need to secure. And he feels that their intentions with it would, one, infringe on those of the Tritons, and two, could potentially be a problem for the already sticky situation on the continent, right, politically.
Yeah.
And so your read of that is he is being restrained in how he's actually speaking about them, and in reality, the situation could be far worse than he's really characterizing it.
Gotcha.
But he's
Alright.
trying to do so sort of politically.
Yeah, he was trying to be PC about it.
Yeah.
All right.
I was hoping to get a read on when I was talking about Oberius, if anyone was faking that they didn't know him, or if anyone reacted to the name, not only him, but anyone in his party.
Interesting.
Like the captain, or just like people's faces.
Give me a perception check for that one, rather than insight.
Okie dokie. Come on. I was really excited about this, but it's just a 13.
13.
Dang.
You've never met a Triton before, and so it's tough to kind of read them. They have a different physiology than others, and also underwater, body language is very different because you're just kind of like floating. So like their body language isn't necessarily like, it's tough to read, especially for somebody who's already got trouble reading people. And
Is there a
so
chance maybe I would clock something with a little bit more perception?
yeah, you can try with a perception check.
16.
Okay, it's a little bit better. The individual that you're speaking with, Remulus, is seemingly genuine in his lack of knowledge. There's looks of curiosity, of interest at the mention of Oberius, but it's not necessarily recognition as far as you can tell. But the individuals who are here, this sort of committee that has welcomed you to the city, it is clearly individuals who are probably in the know of some degree, and so there's high interest in what it is that you're talking about at the very least. And we'll say that for your check.
Cool.
Okay.
Um,
No, I was gonna say, okay, my dude. Like, I think this is fair, right? Like, we'll help you get this relic back, and you hold down the water plane, because, you know, we can't have Oberius, having land and sea. They already got the air, apparently. Well, no, they just have me riding a pterodactyl, but, like, whatever. Like,
he's like, I understood some of those words.
wherever I'm from, it's a long story. I don't know what I am, but there's another one of me. It was riding like a flying reptile thing, seemingly helping Oberius and big beasties. So like, I don't. We just don't want another enemy to fight. So if like, these people in this stronghold, I don't really care about them, but I do care about the water plane not being our enemy. But
And Ziggy likes to make up funny, weird words, so eventually the word that he made up for this crazy beast is
A pterodactyl?
it's terror.
Terror.
I see.
Anyway, I have one condition though.
Yes.
I want a whale.
You want a whale.
Not like to keep the whale, but I want to go up. I want to ride one of those whales.
What experience do you have with mounts?
A lot, actually. I'm pretty good with animals. Never like done like sea animals, but like I'm good with animals.
We may be able to facilitate that.
Yes.
Perhaps travel unseen below the water would be a better approach to the coastal stronghold than a ship sailing its way.
Not that I don't love you, Captain Morrissey, because I really do.
No, it's okay. You get the chance to ride the whale. Not the baby whale that this one made, but the bigger ones, they carry you. They're very fast too. You gotta hold on very tight. They will they'll get you where you need to go. And so Remulus chimes back in at this point and he says, this is something that I hope can be best accomplished covertly. For your own sake, the Currens have built considerable power, and that exists especially here at the stronghold. They have both physical and arcane skills, practitioners who I'm sure would be present here. So for your own sake, it's best to probably not get in too much of a scuffle with them. But on top of that, again, the political ramifications of this are significant, and we hope to not set off any conflict on the continent. As you, my fairy friend, mentioned, it's going to be very important that many of us work together, and to trigger conflict would only, I'm sure, increase the chances of our enemies succeeding. So we have some reconnaissance that may assist you as you plan. And I do hope we can potentially accomplish this with without anyone knowing who was involved. Is that something
Do you have space here where we can rest and talk through amongst ourselves and also review the reconnaissance so we can plan? I think if the magnitude of us being uncovered is as great as you say, we might need to take some time to make sure we know exactly what our course of action is going to be.
I think that's wise. You're not such fools as you say, my big friend. Apologies, we have not had proper introductions as well. As you may know, I'm Remulus, and if I could get all of your names before we send you off into a dangerous mission of sorts, I think that's the least I could do.
I am Zaire.
Say,
I'm World.
Whirl,
I'm Ziggy.
Ziggy,
May.
May,
Nine Gvarka Midrith of the Todorov Legion of Generation, 30 Warden of House Quark.
the first of your kind to come to this place, I'm sure.
We don't venture too far out of our tall grasslands.
It's not so different down here, just different element.
I
And he
can
looks,
respect the people who have a reverence for their home, certainly.
he looks to you, Zaire. He says, we have much respect for the Arakakra as fellow guardians of their respective plane. We've conferenced with them here on one or two occasions. A small contingent of them have made their way here to Tritonia in the past.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, Kami.
Were they penguins?
No, they were Arakakra.
Eric
Of course.
Yeah.
It's canon.
I am
New race.
surprised.
Arakakra.
Eric Cockwood.
I
Okay.
I thought I would be the first, but it makes sense. Guardians of a plane conversing and communing.
I think they were perhaps just as uncomfortable as you are, but I can show you to the accommodations that we had for them. We do have open air down here, though it may surprise you.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
What, you guys don't
Mhm.
like your gills? I gave you guys gills.
It just feels weird. It's not right. But thank you, Ziggy. Very
But-
nice skills.
Thank you. Thank you
have
for the
these
thank you.
skills.
Uh,
when are these skills done?
24 hours.
It's not like gillyweed. You don't actually have gills. You just
I
breathe.
Yeah,
can
I didn't think we had
can-
gills. Sure, we all have little gills.
I want everybody to have gills.
But yes, Zaire, I believe that is wise. We can show you to a place where you all can rest. We can go over the reconnaissance that we have, and you all can prepare for what you wish to do. Please follow me. And he leads you out of the center of the city. And as you have been kind of sitting here in the sunlight somehow that makes its way down here, you start to move back towards the caves. You notice it kind of like drops in temperature. Like you were kind of like for a moment back in the sunlight, and it was nice. Then you kind of go back into the colder waters out of the direct sunlight. And through some of the tunnels and things, it raises kind of up and through like a series of like switchback tunnels and things to what looks to be it's not large, but it's another kind of like small cave that seems to be a pocket of air kind of existing here. And there's a number of plants, some of which are actually not subaquatic. They are plants that exist on the surface, but are somehow tended to keep them here. And it basically recycles the oxygen through those. And so it's like a little, what do you call those? Like a,
The terrarium.
yeah, it's like a little, it's basically a little terrarium
Yeah.
here with some beds laid out. It's nothing fancy, but it is dry and it is oxygen. And it's enough space for you to kind of spread out a little bit at the very least.
When he like shows us that area, is that yours gonna ask him,
Tell me, when last did you host the Arakakra here?
Oof. It's been probably 30, 40 years maybe,
Mm,
following the events of the attempted cleansing, as it were. We thought all of the planes should, all of the planar guardians should converse, and that was the last time I think any of them were here.
My God, did they have like an off-camera meeting, like away from our party? Like the Eric, because there was that time we went back to the Arakocra to get their help afterwards. So there's like that time in
Exactly.
between. Oh, that's so
Ooh.
fun.
It
They were
it
doing
seems
their
like
thing.
history is repeating itself.
Sadly, however, we're here just as we were last time, and we will do what we can. Now, as far as the reconnaissance, let me show you what we have. I'm going to put it in the Discord for you guys.
we're about to plan a heist. We some like Ocean's 11 shit right now.
What?
So excited.
Ocean's 5?
It's not
So-
second yet.
If you go to the
Is this a whiteboard? No,
um,
that's a piece of paper.
it's literally just it's what you're looking at, right? It is a sketched out map of the interior of this place. And so you've got the Great Hall, which is the bottom floor, and then the vault, which is the top floor. So there's 2 floors to it.
Hmm.
And so he says, There is sort of a living space on the bottom floor, the Great Hall. There's kitchen, barracks there, and a contingent of guards typically is housed in this building because on the top floor there is the vault where they keep a number of their treasures and important documents and other things, but it is flanked by a guardhouse or a guard station, essentially, where it is guarded, as far as we can tell, around the clock, as well as holding cells on that floor as a sort of prison.
So they put the holding cell right next to the vault?
Well, this is, if you look, the wall in between the holding cell and the vault is a heavily fortified wall, as is the entirety of the outside of the vault. And the holding cells are near what is already the most heavily guarded place, so it allows them to not split their guard to different locations. They're able to guard both, essentially, via this guardhouse.
So, is the study directly underneath the vault?
It is partially, yes, under the vault. There are generally guards on roving patrol throughout the outside of this place and the inside. The entrance is on either side of the study. There is doors that lead into this main building. There's 2 sets of stairs, a sort of grand staircase in the Great Hall, as well as a back stairwell by the entrance that leads up to the kitchen and the guardhouse. In the vault is 2 heavily fortified vault doors that I believe have some sort of arcane lock, as best I can tell. And the vault itself contains the relic, which is going to look like some sort of staff, a small staff of sorts. And there'll be a number of other things in the vault. As far as we believe, there is an amount of gold in there. Like I said, important documents that they may house there. But I must stress that you can only take the relic. This is not a robbery. We do not wish to rob these people of what they have. I fear
Is that your looks at Whirl as he says that? That's it. Just looks at Whirl.
Look back.
I think it's best if you take only the staff and get out of there.
Do we know where windows
Who
are?
has access to the doors?
Who has access? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I believe there's a guard captain who would have primary access to the vaults. And there should be a captain on each of the rotations.
And sorry if I missed this, but how did they get this staff again?
It's unknown at the moment how they acquired it.
And how did you acquire this reconnaissance information?
As I mentioned, we have existing relationship with not only the people of Curran, but with many of the people on the continent. And this is something that one of our emissaries was able to figure out during his last visit there.
I see.
So, Whirl, what do you think of the map of the entrances? Given all your expertise in this area, where do you think the best entry point is? I mean, we can give you tonight to think on it, but
I mean,
it'd be
we've
crazy.
got plenty of options. But I mean, I'm not familiar with this space. I'd have to check it out. I'd have to see it in person.
Who among us? I was gonna say, who among us can turn invisible?
Not
I can. I can turn two
So-
other people. Hmm.
So
Me and-
3 of us can turn invisible, and then you can turn yourself
2
into
people.
other people. So
Yeah.
everybody can be invisible.
Yeah,
That's helpful.
I'm not so much worried about like not being seen. I'm more worried about like getting into the vault. So like
Oh, I'm not worried about that.
what I mean, if it's an arcane lock, I don't know if we can pick it.
Lock of Mordenkainen.
The goal would be potentially convincing a guard to do it unknowingly.
Is the exterior of the vault stone?
Our information tells us that it is composite material.
Boo.
Do guards come in and out making deliveries into the vault or taking gold out of the vault for expenditures on any regular basis? Is there a schedule?
As far as taking things out of the vault, I don't know that there's a specific schedule for taking things in or out, but it is as needed if they were to receive something of high enough value that should go in the vault, or if they needed to take something out of it, then it would be
So
open.
what if somebody, it doesn't have to be you, gifted them something of value that they would need to deliver into the vault?
Into the vault. Because they'll be looking for things getting stolen but not taken.
I'm just gonna copy the movie.
We just ended ourselves with that.
On the Ocean's 11.
And then they're gonna call the police, but we're gonna be the police.
No, I was thinking more of the D&D
We're gonna
movie
knock
itself.
Incredible.
I worry, however, that such a spontaneous gift from the Tritons, who have typically been
Didn't see you.
right. No, I agree. I think it may need to come from elsewhere, though we could work on procuring
Here's
something
a-
like that.
Here's an important question. Also, possibly a slightly jarring question. Do you need these people if we, come across them to stay alive? Do you care if I silently take care of them?
I would say if that were to happen, I would prefer it be done quite silently.
Doable.
Again,
Doable.
these are powerful practitioners of the arcane and well versed in combat. So, should you find yourself with a number of them, you may have a bit of trouble on your hands. If you must
Oh.
dispatch with one or two, perhaps, I would prefer that not be the case. Again, we're not trying to rob or murder these people, but it is of the utmost importance, and I won't dictate what you can or cannot do to that extent.
Follow-up question for you. It seems that in terms of the heist itself, it needs to be relatively inconspicuous because of the delicate political situation. But I wonder, once they realize the relic that is missing, will they not suspect you first?
It is a concern that I share. However, I do also know that we have shown limited interest thus far to them, and there have been a number of interested parties that have knowledge of this relic.
Is there a possibility that we could create a decoy of this relic to place there to extend the time it takes for them to find out?
If that's something you all are capable of,
I feel like all that would do though is like, uh, if they're like arcane people, like they're definitely going to be able to like see through that like real quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Like I've tried doing something similar, not to this scale, but like you steal something and try and leave something, but like they always know for some reason. Those people at the academy always knew. But I don't know if these are academy people or not. But if they're magic-y people,
And follow-up
DM?
question. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go first.
So if they have a staff that's this powerful, then who do they have to wield it? What powerful wizard or mage do they have in this town to control such a item?
I believe they are still discerning all of its capabilities.
Hmm.
And I don't know that they have one who they've chosen to wield that power, as they don't totally understand it yet. However, this relic originates from the plane of water. And we do currently have the capabilities to master it. So we would be able to put it to more immediate use.
What is this? Is Theo asking the DM? What is the relationship between Curran,
The current.
the Curran, and the Tobero?
One of respect on the part of the current, and one of more or less apathy on the part of the Tobero. You know of them. You kind of look at them as sort of wannabe Toberos. They kind of have their own little, plains, except it's the desert, that they have sort of claimed as their own. And it's kind of like, yeah, good for you guys. Nobody wanted it anyway. You claimed it. Good job. And so they definitely don't match the capabilities of the Tobero, especially in something like open combat. However, they are on their own still a significant power that the Tobero have kept an eye on, especially with their protection of things like the Sessordumian highway, which is a reason why the Curran have essentially left, like their border ends at the Sessordumian highway because it's a conflict they have not wanted to get into yet. And it's also the reason why they're currently trying to expand into the ocean. They're limited. They can only go so far north before they hit the Firefall Mountains and the territory of the Parvori. They can't really go south because then you get into like Galita, which is a pretty powerful city on its own. Can't go east because then you hit the Tobero, and west is the water. So that's kind of the only area they've been able to look at as sort of expanding their influence. And so as far as the Tobero are concerned, it is a concern if you were like back in the plains with your people and you knew this, it would be a concern that they would be able to sort of get that much more influence, that sort of step up over the Tobero, controlling the waters, especially on a island continent, is significant.
So they're not necessarily within the hegemony of the Tobero, but they're very close adjacent.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And they just haven't necessarily been enough of a factor to worry about, but something like this would elevate them to the status of like, oh shit, the Tobero might give a shit now.
all right. Shall we sleep on it?
Wow.
Yep. I think we have a fair amount of information.
We plan at dawn.
Yay! What a good reference.
Thank you, Michael. I think was that campaign 2?
What's that? No,
Was that campaign 2?
That was campaign 1.
Was campaign 1?
That was Grog. It was during when he was fighting his
That's
uncle.
right. That's right. We plan at dawn.
Plan at dawn.
Before Romulus leaves, though, I think so. Like as we're packing up, May is gonna What is it, Remulus?
Which, as I was writing it in my Google Doc, it kept fucking correcting it to Romulus. I was so annoyed.
Hey, Remulus.
I took my long rest so I can start preparing
Sweet.
my spells for whatever this heist is going to be.
As he's walking out, though, I'm going to be like, and Remulus, you know how you have all of your spies or whomever you have in the city to get the photos of this vault? I just want to warn you that Alberius probably has his own spies here, as you probably might know. So just be careful who you trust. And just know that he can make his move at any point in time. As I think we've made it clear, he is a threat. And even though the Feywild may seem really far away, you have 2 people from the Feywild here, thousands of feet underwater, in front of you, telling you that Oberius is coming, and he may already be here.
Your warning is
And that's on period.
Here.
both heeded and appreciated. We are quite careful with those that we bring from outside to the city. I will give you all a warning as well that you will be watched during most of your time here. If you are within the city, you will generally have an escort. I hope you don't take offense to that. As you have mentioned, we must be careful of who we trust. That being said, again, I do appreciate the warning, and this is something that we will begin to look into immediately, even if we cannot take action at the moment. And so the area that you're in, to get there, it was like a ramp sort of in the underwater cave. It kind of ramped up and then came to flatten out into the cavern. And so it's almost like you're in this cave, and there's like a little like pool in the cave basically that goes down further into the caverns. And so he turns and walks and just kind of walks down into the pool and disappears under the water. And there's occasional like dripping through kind of like the cavern itself as water kind of collects at the top and then drips down, as well as the various plants and things that exist in here. And it's a somewhat cozy place to be, if not the most, spacious and open, but a decent place to take a long rest if that's what you all are trying to do.
That'll do for now.
Faux show.
All right.
Before we go to bed, can I chat with May real quick?
Of course.
I'm going to telepathically. Okay. I'm going to telepathically talk to May. And just say, Nate, can I just vent and voice some concerns with you?
Of course.
I worry that we continue to. Sometimes it seems with the paths we have taken, we are less connecting pieces that connect these happenings and occurrences together, and more like pawns of the players that in fact continue to move a much larger piece forward. I mean, in this case, we are picking a side on a very tense political situation. I can't say I'm fully comfortable with it. I know the Quran. I don't know the Tritons. It's easier for me to deal with managing this relic from my position as a member of the Tobaro than it is as an outsider or a vigilante who gives it to another group who I do not truly know what they will do. I don't know. But I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure they're trustworthy. They've been guarding the plane of water for centuries, millennia. I don't know. I just can't help but feel sometimes like there are strings on my back that someone is manipulating like I'm a puppet.
I think in this case, we have to do it to get their trust. But I'm tired of having to earn trust like this.
When I agreed to take you across Sordum and now beyond, I didn't envision that it would be done in the status of a pack mule. Sorry about that.
Well, maybe when we get to the city, well, we have to be conspicuous. But I do think that, in a way, we're in over our heads with what situation we're in. But we're also now messing with political matters in a way that we fully don't comprehend. I know I don't understand the politics of this continent. But you have a sense of it. And so maybe we tread carefully with the staff. When
Always.
we have it, we tread carefully with it. Not saying that we should take it, but we will have the ability to decide what to do with the staff once it's in our hands.
That is true. I did not think of it that way. I appreciate that. That does give me a little bit of a sense of agency. Well, I suppose there's more to figure out tomorrow, later dates, as you have it.
And I think we do have to remember what we seek. We need proof. We need proof of what Oberius is doing.
Maybe the Tritons can help give it to us.
So let's trust them for now. I know you don't trust easily.
Not in a place like this. Not when they sick a giant lightning fish on us. Thank
It
God
did
for
look really
Ziggy.
it did look cute as a crab.
It looked pissed as a crab.
It looked really bad as a crab.
Okay.
Let's do
All right.
this
Everybody's taking
heist
a
and
long rest?
then
Yeah, can I talk to doesn't have to be an actual conversation, but can I just talk to someone, talk to Remulus just to be like, yo, so like I gave us the ability to breathe underwater. Is that something that you guys could help us with on the way back up, or do I need to do that again?
We do not generally have the need for that here. However, as we have hosted uh, others here, we should still have perhaps a potion or two left that could accomplish that.
Potion or 2 or a potion or 5?
We may have enough to cover you all once more if you need it,
That would be lovely.
but I can confirm that before you all leave.
Cool. Night, bro.
Sleep well. We can continue the planning in the morning.
At plan we dawn.
and
All right.
we dawn.
Everyone wants to take their long rest. I'm going to take a quick break, go to the bathroom. I'll be back.
Yeah.
I'm going to just
Nighty-night.
meditate. Night. I don't have to sleep.
Good night, love you.
Woo!
I'm hungry. I'm gonna get pizza.
I want snacks. I want some snacky
All right,
snacks.
I guess I'm gonna
Yeah,
throw Twitch. We're gonna go to break because everybody.
We're going to break?
Everybody and their mother is watching us. So
Brain
It's break
snacky foods.
time.
we'll be right back.
Ooh. Because we're professionals.
It says be right back. And now we're back.
And now we're back.
Didn't see you
Welcome
there.
back.
All right, so you all had your rest. Took your long rest. Did we need to do it?
We
We
got
need to
our
prepare
snack.
spells. And I think you all have some planning to do. Come up with a plan.
Okay.
You can
First,
also, once you come up with a plan, you can do your own reconnaissance once you get there as well if you want to. But like, because you're obviously not there right now, they gave you what they could for recon.
Did we get
So.
those potions?
Did you guys want to like? Why was you like planning right when you woke up, or because obviously the
I
moment
thought we
you
were planning.
can still drink water, you can go out into the city again if you wanted to.
At dawn, we plan.
So are you hanging out here, or are you going back to like find Remulus?
I want those potions because I don't want to have water breathing as a 4th level spell slot.
No, that's fair.
He said that he was going to give them to you, right?
He said if you had
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Currently though, it's still active, I believe, for like another couple hours probably.
Yeah, I don't know what time we left in the boat. I did it.
I mean,
I cast it like right before shit hit the fan. So
yeah, like late
So-
morning, early afternoon, I would guess.
okay.
If he doesn't, what if you went back to sleep?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I can always. The rules are kind of fast and loose of how you prepare spells, but like,
Oh, you're trying to talk about like preparing your spells?
yeah, I don't want to prepare water breathing if I don't need to prepare water breathing.
Hmm.
Which is why I asked for the potions.
Yeah,
But
I'll
what
say
if we need water breathing for our getaway?
assume that there's a way that
Mhm.
they can get you at the very least to the
Right.
surface if they need to.
That's a good point. I think we have the stat. Yeah. All right, I'll keep water breathing.
It's up to you.
Yeah, fine. What do I give up?
So we
Hmm.
know that at any time, every member of the party can be invisible, right?
Mhm.
So, in terms of getting close, either for reconnaissance or committing the act, not too worried. Unless they have some sort of guards or tripwire alarm type things that can be triggered for those who are invisible, which I imagine they might.
If they're magic-y people, they probably do.
Yeah.
I think.
Makes me think we
Hmm.
need to find a reason for them to open the vault.
Also, I think worth noting, nobody here has greater invisibility, right? It's all lesser invisibility.
Correct.
Meaning if you were to cast a spell or do any kind of attack, you would lose your invisibility.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
think maybe it's a better idea to try and charm our way in. Not necessarily like use charms, but like, get to know them, buddy up to them, and then do something that way. Because I think it's going to be very hard to get in, do all the things we need to do, and get out unseen.
If they have changing guards, could we be some new guards that they bring in to defend the vaults if we're able to disguise ourselves as such?
They have a schedule of guards. Like, it's not just like, oh, we need guards, and then guards show up. It's like they have a schedule of people. And if
One of us could be new.
Yeah, but who, like,
Hmm.
people don't just hire new guards.
I mean,
I
Tommy's
wonder
a
if
big guy. You could be a guard.
well, here's what I was about to say is the Kuren are extremely familiar with the Togoro, and they would recognize a Kingsblade like me with my white skin and my white hair and all my tattoos right away. I'm also trying to, in my brain, think if maybe that is something to use to our advantage.
I would be concerned that if an incident happened and they knew a Tovaro was there, they would blame your tribe for the subsequent action. So I would almost think we would need to hide you because of how obvious you are.
Listen, if they want to blame the Tobaro, I would like to see them try and do something about it.
We're. I don't care who fights whom, but we're supposed to avoid continental wars, I think.
Sure, no, I respect what you're saying.
I mean, I'm
Well-
all in for a little excitement. I'm not too worried. We've been through worse things at this point. Let's just get this done. I mean,
Well, yeah, but
Should we also like figure out are these guys working with someone, or are they really working on their own, or do they have ties to Overius possibly? We don't know anything, so I think if we like approach it as more of a like a meeting of, or even like it's not necessarily untrue to approach them with the news that we have and be like, you like, or even like play up to their desire to be of renown and be like, you're a well, you have powers we need, the land's under threat, and kind of like, bump them up a little bit and use that to like gain some favor and then get in.
what if we act, or some of us act, as an emissary from somewhere else? At the same time, others are invisible in the area.
Yeah. Two-pronged approach. We love splitting.
One, it's the Ocean's 11 approach. A famous legend Eric Cochran would tell the school children.
Wow.
But it worked in the tale.
I like it. I wonder too if didn't Remulus say that they've been testing this staff and taking it out of the vault to test it every now and again to see how it works? Could we get it when it's actually outside of the vault while they're trying to figure out what it is? I don't know how frequently they take it out of the vault, but I can't see them trying to test its powers inside of there.
Well, what if you got the brain just as flowing, Maeve. I wonder if again the Tobaro, maybe we don't even need to blame the Tobaro. Maybe if the Kurin are made aware that the Tobaro have been made aware that they are in possession of such an artifact, and the Tobaro are coming to investigate exactly what it is and what it's doing in their possession, just coming to seek information, not necessarily taking any action right off the bat. That might be a reason they would bring it out, so the Tobaro could have a chance to inspect it, see what it is.
I don't know why they would show it to the Tovaro, though.
Because the Tobaro hold a dagger to their throat, and if they don't show us and we think they're a threat, we pull the knife. That's why.
But if they think it's their key towards greater power, why give that up under threat that the Tovaro could do at any point?
I never said that Tobaro were planning on taking it. I simply said we wanted to learn what the situation was.
Yeah. Threat assessment.
Mm-hmm. The responsibility of the Tobaro is to understand what's happening on the southern half of the continent at all times. It will not be out of the ordinary for us to be making an inquiry if we've been hearing from other parties on the plains that there is something that might disrupt the status quo.
So, if you act as emissary from the Tovaro, say some of us are invisible, kind of monitoring it. When do we take it? They're clearly going to have eyes on it the entire time. They're going to watch you watch it the whole time because it's their key towards more power. I don't see any opportunity along that path for us to take it without them immediately knowing that it's been stolen.
Well, here's what I could potentially envision. If they were to host an emissary, just looking at the information that was given to us by Grimulus, if they were to host an emissary of the Tovaro, they would do it in a grander place, in the keep, potentially the Great Hall, potentially maybe the study if they want a little bit more of a private place. Doing so, they would need to transport it from the vault to this place and then back when the meeting is over. Now, if that is indeed the case, that means that whoever the emissary is meeting with, guards protecting that person, etc., would be held up in the secondary location. Meaning the threat that the relic takes back to the vault might be the opportunity. It would also alleviate the blame to the Tovaro if I'm clearly incapacitated or in the room with whomsoever I'm meeting with.
I'm concerned that by making the meeting the staff and Relic the focus of the meeting, that the attention will be on that. Whereas, is there an opportunity to have a meeting with them where the staff is not the focus, but the vault still gets opened for a reason?
That's the
In
best
the act
idea.
of transporting, guards will be watching it at all times. I don't know. I'm thinking. I like where we're going though.
That's a good point. I don't know. I think that's as far as my brain can take me.
Gold, treasures, there's other things in the vault. Is there any reason we could think of them taking it out for the Tovaro?
Yeah, I mean, I think also possibly the issue though is like, isn't there like, it's being held inside of a vault inside the vault, right? That's what Remula said. Like, there's the vault.
In a stronghold. In a
Okay, so it's not locked away any other than like behind the vault.
Yeah, so
I mean, a coastal fort will be difficult to infiltrate if we don't have the front doors open for us.
I mean, I can get in. That's not an issue.
All those coastal forts are built with views where they can sit on the balcony and stare into the ocean, and it's perfect for somebody to fly right in.
I can do that. You can do that. Although I can do it a little smaller.
Yeah, no,
I
anybody
can
can
do
You
fly.
can do that a little smaller.
We can all be small.
Well, then,
too.
People can fly, and somebody, as the emissary of the Tovaro, will walk right in the front gate.
Yep.
The key is, how do we get the vault open without them thinking that they're showing you the staff that's either going to get stolen on its way to you or on its way back when there's guards around? Unless, I mean, I can cast command and ask a guard to give me something or open something, but we're risking that a little bit because there's always the chance it fails.
This is true.
DM, I mean, not to have you like solve this for us, but because I'm just thinking, I'm trying to think like because the Tobero don't really care about like.
It's just when you sit farther back, because the microphone's
yeah, it is. Yeah.
It changes the volume.
Is this better?
Yeah.
It's a little bit better, yeah.
Yeah, because so what I'm trying to think of is like the Toguro don't care about riches or money. They don't live in like lavish palaces. That it's like they wouldn't be there to try and like collect payment or anything like that. So I'm trying to think like
What if
there...
Zaire has an idea? What if a member of the Tovaro is willing to give some sensitive intelligence about their clan to them in exchange for some goods, i.e., a lot of gold? And somebody is willing to defect and give them information, but first, in order to get the information, would need to see how much gold they're going to get.
Jake is so excited.
That's a big ask, Zaire. Even though I know the intent is good, that is a difficult thing to do, even to fake it.
I will not pressure you into making the decision. It is yours to make. If it's not to be, I understand the adherence to a cause and to a creed and to a people. But if it's not to be, we'll find another way.
No, I like all these like deceit sort of plans. Did we talk about just burrowing into the vault somehow? Like
Well, it's on
A bunch of fucking
it's
bastards.
on the second floor.
right. So
You can't really.
do we
burrow.
know but like if we were in the study and we somehow found a way to just get into the vault right above it? It's
It
easier
was
to get into the
mentioned
study.
that the vault itself is made of some
Yeah.
sort of composite material,
Yeah.
specifically, I think, to protect against that kind of thing.
I asked if it was stone because I have stone shape, and I could
Ah,
easily get
correct.
in. But like,
Yeah.
that's why that was like the first question I asked.
Okay, instead, here's a counter proposal, Zaire. Instead of leaking sensitive information about the Toguro, what if I instead leak sensitive information about Galida?
Sure. I
Mm.
mean, sensitive information can all be made up. I don't think, like, you bullshit in there. I just, want to make sure that it's compelling enough for them to dole out some riches for it. And if Galita is, then we owe no allegiance to that city. I don't, at least.
But then what we're doing is continuing to fuel the intercontinental
Mhm.
tensions, which the whole purpose of this is to be bringing these people together to fight a greater evil. And
That's why
Is there
I
a
say
way?
that's why I think my
I-
idea of like going to them with like actual goodwill, or at least like a front of actual goodwill, and be like, "Yo, the continent's under threat. Like, what can you do to help?" And just like try and steer the conversation towards what their capabilities are.
or maybe we can do like a reverse of Zaire and still have the Toguro. I'm coming as an emissary of the Toguro, and maybe they clearly like important relics. Maybe we have a fake relic that the
Mm.
Toguro have confiscated in the plains. I'm saying there's tension amongst the Toguro, and I'm not sure exactly who I can trust. I need to leave it outside the city, and
Yeah.
I
We
consider
need
the
your vault.
current a safe place to hold it
Mhm.
until I return. They bring it
Yep.
down to the vault opens.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that as to get the vault open. Now, how do we get
Whatever the
people in and out?
That's actually not that hard. I could
Yeah, I think that's
I
the key.
could if it's like anything that a small animal could fit in, I could turn into a small animal, be inside whatever the thing is, and then they drop it off. Like I could wild shape into, fucking ant and just be in or on the thing when they put it in the vault.
And then,
And then
presumably, others that are invisible are following the guards in the vault, I guess, trying to.
I don't think we need
I don't
multiple
know.
people in the vault. You know, like
I mean,
the hard part's gonna be getting out of the vault at that point, but
I can
I
help
think the
with that.
key is. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sneaky. You know, I can get around easily if we run into any issues. I can do some convincing if we need to.
Ziggy, I feel like we could make the swap while the vault doors open the whole time.
Oh, I don't know why I'm blurry.
Whoa.
No?
What
move your
the
hand in
hell?
front of your camera.
Yeah, wave.
Nope, not working.
Put it in
The
front of
hell?
your face and then put it back down. No,
Here,
put
I'm
your
gonna do
hand
this. Nope, I'm gonna do this.
No. Whoa.
in front of the camera
Like
and then move,
this, and then do
and then
this.
move it.
Oh no, yeah,
Yep,
there we
hold
go.
on.
That worked. It worked for me.
No, it hasn't worked for
Nope.
me.
It's gonna work.
There you are. Sheesh.
I know what we're talking about.
Well, I mean, like, how long do you think this door is gonna be open?
They open the door, they drop stuff off, they leave. By that point, someone's either with the item that Kami drops off. You have one person monitoring the hallway. They follow him in just in case. I don't know. You grab it, you walk out
You just walk out.
behind him. I don't know. If you,
I feel like
I
people
guess
are
if
gonna
you,
be like, people will be there. Like, I think
Yeah.
it'd be easier if like we get someone in without anyone knowing that they're in, and then somehow get out after that. Maybe
how to get
Harry.
out.
that's the
Pocket
question.
fan.
Unless Kami accidentally forgot something and they need to open it back up again.
So, so again, with the vault doors, do we know what kind of lock the arcane lock is, and if there's any way that we can actually just unlock it ourselves?
I can't do anything about arcane locks personally.
Yeah.
Are there any special relics that exist that can unlock the door for us?
And that's gonna
I
be
can
one of
summon
the
a demon and
questions.
see if he wants to help.
Summon who?
A demon and see if it wants to help.
Yeah.
Would we know, Eric, if there's any sort of
Great
tool?
distraction.
Stronghold and just take the staff from the rubble.
Are there any tools, Eric, that we would be aware of that could open an arcane lock?
I mean, there's magic items that exist, but they're not easy to come by typically.
Okay.
That'd be a whole nother wild goose chase to go find something like that.
I'm not saying we can or can't do. You can go look for sure. You can certainly try.
I really can't pick it with the thieves tool.
An arcane lock? No.
It's really
But
unfortunate.
you can turn invisible and you can fly and you're quick. So you could grab it. Dart
I
out
can
of
get
there.
I could get us into the area with the vault easily. I could grab it quick, but that doesn't solve for how we're getting in.
I can
Could we?
command a guard to let us in if he's not too smart.
It would be specifically
Can we
have
do
to
that
be one of
while
the
you're visible?
captains.
Yep.
Yeah, we could maybe stake out. I'm just proposing new ideas. We could stake out and see how they open the door, what they use, what the code is.
That's for sure.
What tool they
We'll
use.
definitely do some reconnaissance.
Yeah.
Because I can just turn into like a fucking seagull and just like sit up top and just like watch their patterns and then report back.
Oh, am I not paying enough attention to you? Stop. I'm sorry.
So like we could definitely like get like whatever their schedules are and like figure out like who the people are that can and can't open stuff. But yeah,
There's no. Did Remulus? What's his name?
Remulus.
Remulus. Sorry. Mention anything does he have any inside contacts? Any names of people, guards that he might know? I know he doesn't have. He's not friends with anyone, but does he know a name? Might give us some credibility.
Just like a name of the guards there.
Anyone in charge, any of the guards.
I mean, you can ask him, yeah, if you want. If you want to go find him.
Yeah, might as well. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, we'll say, without having to RP too far into it, if you talk to him this morning, as far as gathering more information from him, he does know that the guard captain, there are two of them. One of them is named Bracken, and one of them is named Asher.
Cool. I'm gonna relay that to the group and Kami, assuming that he'll be the one to act as a guard.
To say that again, these are the two guards.
They're the two. So there's like
Captains.
two guard captains because one of them always has to be essentially on duty. And the two that are currently stationed there are Bracken, Bracken, and Asher,
Asher Roth.
Ashr.
I love college. I
They're
love drinking.
Throwback.
I love women.
Sorry. They're the guards
I
of
love college.
the Kurin.
These are the guard captains. So they are the captains of this stronghold. They're in charge of all of the guards there.
Yeah, they're presumably the ones that can open the door.
Open the gate.
Correct. That is what Remulus said, is that those two are the ones that typically have the ability to open the vault.
Yeah, okay.
The average guard may or may not, depending.
Okay. We have options.
We do.
Do have options.
Does anything ever really go to plan?
No, but I think that's why it's
No.
going to be really important to like
Pair.
get as much information before we get there. So like
Yeah, I would
when
agree.
we get there, we don't just go straight in. Like let's set up camp like far enough outside somewhere, and then me and or you can fly in stealthily and just watch and get a feel for like how do shifts take place, like how is the vault unlocked, because if it's something as easy as like the captains have like a special key, then that makes that a lot easier, as opposed to like if it's something that it's like it's like I don't know, fucking like some weird hand wavy magic bullshit, that's gonna be harder. So
Right.
like
Mhm.
I think like I don't want to like just show up and yeah, but I can turn
Yeah.
into a little bird. You can just be a little fairy, and a
And
little invisible fairy.
reduce someone. I can make someone else in our party smaller. I can reduce them if we need to. So if we need any additional backup.
I think invisibility and flying is probably enough for just watching.
Hmm.
I think that should be our first step. I don't like. It's good to like knock around a bunch of ideas. I feel like, and like all of these ideas that we've brought up are very viable. But like, I feel like we need more information of what's actually happening on the ground before we can pick one.
Agreed.
Mhm. Okay.
Yo, Remulus, is there like any
Yep.
like natural coves around the area that like we could set up shop in that like they wouldn't really, that's like close by but like not obvious?
Well, there's the other side of Shimmer Run. At its mouth, it's probably about a mile across. And the stronghold sits directly on the other side of it to the west.
Okay.
and typically their boundary generally ends at the Shimmer Run, the river.
Okay.
You could set up there. There's also a small, what would you call it? Bay, I suppose. If you're looking on your map. So it sits here. This is like a bay, kind of small little area here. You could try setting up over there. That's sort of out of the way, but that's more within the current territory.
Yeah, and is it right here?
It's like right. It's more like right here.
Right
So it's
here.
like on the bank of the
Okay.
river and also the
Okay. Yeah, I think it may,
ocean.
group can jump in. I think if we like pop up right here, set up shop over there where they're not coming across the river.
Mhm.
Set up shop there, just try and collect information first and then go from there.
I agree.
Yep.
When do we
Alright.
want
This is
to?
my this is probably shocking that this is my first heist. So I'm just
You're gonna do
following
great.
your lead, girl.
Oh, you'll be great. Don't worry. Just shh.
Not gonna lie,
Um,
stealing can be fun as long as it's like stealing with a cause.
Yeah, there's always a cause.
A good cause. A less selfish cause.
Oh, got it. Note taken.
There's this guy named Hood Robin. Good guy.
Robin.
Hood Robin.
so Remulus, as you guys are talking with him, he says, I've secured 6 greater potions of water breathing. These should give you roughly 8 hours. Not quite as effective as I believe the spell that you have, but it should still give you enough time. And I've managed to secure 6 of them. You have 1 extra just in case you need it. But I also promised you transportation, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Ziggy's eyes get real wide. Well,
They spend some time essentially teaching you all how to ride a whale.
Wow.
They have 3 of the armored orcas,
hell yeah.
as well as what look to be 2 war dolphins.
War
So they,
dolphins?
I feel
They
like
are-
dolphins are already war dolphins.
I mean, if
yeah, they are essentially combat equipped dolphins.
if there were ever animals in the ocean that would rape and pillage, it would be dolphins.
And these are smaller and more equipped to carry somebody like Whirl and May.
I get a war dolphin.
I'm ready.
So
How do
they
we?
get- Go ahead.
Presumably, this all goes well, and we're not killed. How do we get this back to you?
Same way we got it.
Do you want us to just jump into the ocean and
The mounts
go
can
on?
be made available at your location to return you. You would need, again, some kind of water breathing assistance.
Yeah, that I can do. But
It would
these
be
potions.
very much appreciated if the giant floppy shocky fish is not at the door when we come back.
Or the Kraken is there to like cover our escape. No, because they know
Kraken-
you have the Kraken, right?
The Kraken remains as a guardian of Tritonia, and here he will stay. However, the mounts that you all have can return via the city center through the dome at the top.
Dope. Yeah.
You will be
Okay.
unimpeded in your return. I can promise that.
So what I say is we keep these potions for when we're making our escape, and then I have water breathing for today to get us up to the surface, and then that way for our actual like intrigue stuff, I don't have to have that spell slot. We each have one of these potions, down it, jump into the water.
Worth noting, the quote-unquote potions of water breathing are, it actually looks like, it's not actually liquid. It looks like a sort of heavy smoke or fog that acts sort of like liquid, like it's air. But it is,
It's Stormlight.
it's like, it's something that you would essentially inhale rather than drink.
It's fucking Stormlight.
It's Stormlight!
I don't know
What?
what it is,
I know
but
you
that's
don't,
cool.
but it's cool.
It's really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So, something that essentially could be consumed underwater as well.
Right.
Okay.
You know,
Sick.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks, dude.
Thank you.
yeah, so they take some time teaching you all how to uh, ride the underwater mounts, essentially. And are you all heading towards the shore?
Yeah, I think so. I'll cast water breathing on all of us, ritually,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll head towards that wherever they think there's like a well guard like a natural cove that we can camp in
Okay.
without being seen.
Your mounts are pretty quick through the water. Let me get an animal handling check from everybody, just out of curiosity.
Oh.
No
You all were taught, so I'll give you all advantage because you all were taught how to ride them.
Thank you.
Still not good.
Great.
21.
11.
Well,
16.
What'd you get, Kami?
11.
11. Okay.
The
They're
first
all
one was a 3, so
decent. Huh?
thank God you said advantage because the first one was a 3.
Oh god. They're all decent. Like you guys are all. You look a little clunky, Kami, especially you again, somebody who's not like a water,
I'm doing
guy.
tricks.
You're
I'm
just
I'm used to.
yeah. You are. You're just kind of holding on for dear life as this thing's moving. But it may take a little bit longer in the beginning, just as some of you guys are kind of warming up to the concept, but you managed to settle in through the ride to shore.
I'm doing tricks
As
I'm like standing on its nose as it's swimming and shit. Good stuff.
as you do kind of close in on shore, you can see sort of the sea floor rise up to kind of meet you. At which point the mounts essentially slow and stop to the point where you guys would have a swim or easy trip to shore from there, but without reaching themselves.
Okay.
And yeah, you make your way onto shore. It is as you come to shore, you notice that it is pretty much a desert. With where you kind of come to shore, it is somewhat what's the word I'm looking for? Lush around the river, but quickly kind of transitions into sand dunes and open desert out to the east. And you can look across the river and you see a similar thing out across the river. So there's a little bit of like trees and things, grass along the banks of the river, but it quickly turns into pretty inhospitable sand and desert beyond that.
Is the keep visible from where we're at?
Yeah, at this point in the day, it's pretty clear. And across the way, about a mile, again, across the mouth of the river, you can see the fortified walls of the keep. It looks very desert, sort of almost like sandstone kind of in appearance. And to a degree, if there was no like trees and things along the banks of the river, it would almost be difficult to see against the dunes behind it. But you do see it. It's sort of a castle-esque in the sense that it's got small towers along the outside, but it's only about 2 floors. It looks very sturdily built out of some kind of stone, sandstone, like whatever it might be. And you can just kind of see it across. You don't have a ton of detail on it, but you can see it across the way.
Can I make a survival check to find like a well hideable spot for us to set camp up?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go survival.
Yeah, 15 plus 8 is 23.
Ooh.
Oof. Yeah, so again, there's a decent amount of vegetation along the river. And so you guys can get pretty close to the river and have a decent amount of cover. I will say with that check, you would be hesitant to probably light a fire at night.
Yeah.
That's something that would be seen pretty easily. But if you guys just kind of don't make a ton of noise, I mean, you don't have to be quiet necessarily, but as long as you're not hooting and hollering and you don't light any fires, you're pretty confident that you can go unseen over here.
Dope.
I had plans to hoot and holler, so that's gonna be a problem.
You guys are gonna be seen for sure.
Do you,
Hoot
do
If I'm
you,
not hooting and hollering,
hollering.
I'm not
do you
camping,
mean
you know?
chirp and chala? No, that wasn't good.
You're getting there. You work on that one a little bit. Workshop it.
Workshop. Yeah. Workshop, Michael.
Yeah, the remarks about my race are so funny.
Not to be racist, but air cockroaches suck.
Yeah. So you guys setting up camp. Do we want to get into like the recon, or do we want to maybe pause there so Jess doesn't have to dip out?
Pause.
Yeah, I think
I think we should pause.
Yeah.
I want to mull over a lot of ideas in my own head and shoot them around in the group, and that way we don't have to do it all on stream, you know.
I'll give you a
And also, if we did recon and then paused, we would have to remember the recon
Yeah,
for the.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
none
I'll
of
give you a
us have
sneak
memories.
peek
Yeah.
of the
Woo!
key.
I can't believe that we're Ocean's 5. This is so exciting.
Literally, we just came out of the ocean.
Literally, exactly. Ocean's 5. Ocean's 5. There's a huge mosquito in here. So when are we playing next?
Could we go back to Sundays?
Well,
we can close out,
should
Sunday?
we?
right,
Yeah.
of the
Oh,
stream.
yeah.
Hey!
Bye, everybody.
Night,
Totally
everyone!
watched.
Mwah, mwah.